Hey everyone, and welcome to our explainer. Okay, let's just imagine for a second. You're a security director at a company that's just blowing up. Offices are opening on 3 different continents, and your digital defenses, well, they're starting to feel like a complete mess. How do you possibly get a handle on all of it without losing your mind? Well, today we're looking at the tool that was built to solve that exact problem, Palo Alto Panorama. We're going to break down the chaos it's designed to tame and how it gives you a single point of control over your entire global security setup.
So, let's kick things off by talking about a problem that pretty much every successful growing business runs into: the absolute challenge of scaling your security.
When you're small, security feels, well, manageable. With maybe 4 or 5 firewalls, your team can easily hop into each one, update the rules, check the logs. It's all pretty clean, pretty straightforward. But then, you get bigger. Suddenly there are offices in the US, data centers over in Europe, new branches in Asia. That small handful of firewalls, it balloons to 50, maybe 100, maybe even more. Now what? How in the world do you manage that without making a critical and probably really expensive mistake?
And this right here is the heart of the challenge. You go from this simple, one-by-one task to this huge, repetitive, and honestly dangerously error-prone job. Just imagine trying to push one single critical security rule. That means logging into dozens, maybe hundreds of separate devices, one at a time. This is the exact kind of chaos that Panorama was built to fix.
So, how do you solve this mess? This is where Panorama really steps into the picture. And the creator of our source material, Bakash's Tech, had this fantastic metaphor for it. I love this. It just perfectly captures that shift in perspective, doesn't it? You're no longer down in the weeds. You're not lost managing one firewall at a time. Panorama literally gives you that strategic top-of-the-mountain view of your entire security world.
So just to be super clear, Panorama is not another firewall. The best way to think about it is like the conductor of an orchestra. It's the central command center where from one single screen, you can manage, update, and monitor all of your firewalls. And it doesn't matter if they're in the next room or on the other side of the planet.
So how does Panorama actually pull this off? It's not magic, It's a really clever system that's built on 2 core ideas. What I like to think of as blueprints for your whole network and rulebooks for all your specific regions. It really all comes down to this configure once, deploy many philosophy. First, you set up what are called templates. These are your global blueprints. This is where you define settings that are the same for everybody, like your company's main DNS servers. Then you create device groups. These are your regional rulebooks. They let you apply really specific security policies only where you need them, say, for example, just for your European firewalls. And this is where the magic really happens. Let's say you need to update the DNS server for the entire company. You change it one time in the global template, and boom, Panorama pushes it out to all 100 firewalls. You're done. But what if you need a new policy that's just for the UK? Well, you add it to the UK device group, and only those firewalls get the update. This simple structure saves an incredible amount of time and just about eliminates those little human error configuration mistakes.
So when you put these building blocks together, the templates and the device groups, Panorama becomes your true single pane of glass. It's your one spot for all major security operations, from the day-to-day stuff to a full-blown emergency.
This gives you just amazing flexibility. You can handle these careful, scheduled rollouts. So you can upgrade your US firewalls in week 1, then do the London firewalls in week 2. But, and this is huge, if a zero-day threat suddenly appears, you can push a critical antivirus signature to every single firewall you own worldwide instantly. Now that is real control. And this control, it just extends to everything. It's your one-stop shop for pushing new rules and deploying the latest threat intelligence. But the most powerful feature might just be this one, viewing security logs from all of your firewalls in one single place. Think about that. Instead of chasing ghosts on individual machines, you could see a coordinated attack as it unfolds across your entire global network. That makes threat hunting infinitely faster and way more effective. So when you step back and look at it, in our modern, super distributed world, a tool like Panorama really goes from being a nice-to-have feature to an absolute necessity for any company that wants to grow without getting compromised.
So let's just tie this all together. By unifying your policies and speeding up your updates, you get this amazing centralized visibility, and that directly cuts down on your operational complexity, which saves you money and, more importantly, prevents breaches. It solves that original problem we talked about. It finally lets your network grow without completely overwhelming your security team.
And that really brings us to the final critical thought here. As businesses keep expanding across continents and deep into the cloud, the surface area for attacks just gets bigger and bigger. So we're left with this fundamental question for our time. In a world that is more distributed than it's ever been, can your security really afford not to be centralized? Thanks for watching.